everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah. I am the Clumsy Stitcher here on YouTube and over on Instagram. To all new viewers, thank you very much for choosing to join me today. It's very kind of you. And to all returning viewers, it's a pleasure to speak to you all again. I hope you're all getting on okay. Today is a kind of special video, I guess, because it's the first video after my official Flosstube anniversary. I posted a community post on the date because I was supposed to film and upload a video on the actual date of my Flosstube anniversary. It just seemed like a nice idea. But then, as I said, I tore a ligament in my knee when we were on our honeymoon, and so just really wasn't in a filming kind of mood, if I'm honest. The knee is still pretty much the same. I'm still waiting for an MRI scan so that we know what's actually wrong with it and if I need surgery or not. But we're just waiting to hear back from the NHS, and obviously with COVID and everything, the wait times are pretty long at the moment. So hopefully I'll hear something soon, but there's not really much I can do at the moment. So like I said, it has been over a year now since I've started filming Flosstube, and I just wanted to say thank you all so much for continuing to come back and watch my videos. I don't think I would have ever expected that within the first year there'd be almost 3,000 of you subscribed and tuning in. I never set any targets with like subscriber count and everything because that's not the reason I'm here. I'm here because I wanted to speak to people about my stitching, but it's incredibly humbling and I feel incredibly welcomed by you all, so thank you so much. It's been fantastic, and I know that there are a lot of projects I wouldn't be doing if it weren't for this community, which is both good and bad because I still haven't finished anything, but there are so many projects that just give me so much joy, and I am so grateful to this community and stitching for that. To celebrate this, and as a thank you for all of your support over the last year, there will be a giveaway at the end of this video, my first ever giveaway, so I hope it goes off all right. And if you hang around to the end, then I'll be able to tell you what the prizes will be and how to enter. So as it has been over a year since I started my Flosstube and did my introductory video, I thought I would reintroduce myself a bit, because I also got a few new followers from the whip parade I did before New Year, and so I'm really glad that you guys all like that video. Thank you so much for all your comments on it. I really enjoyed filming it and falling back in love with all of my projects. It was really good to film and sort out my whip go board. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. So I'm glad you guys did too. Like I said, my name is Sarah. I live in Manchester with my husband and our 2 cats. One of which is being a bit mischievous just to the right of me, so if I keep glancing over there, it's because she's found some string somewhere. I hope it's not from one of my bags. I've been cross-stitching since I was very young. I did a cross-stitch club at school, and my mum taught me how to stitch from then on as well. But between college and university, I didn't really stitch very much, and so I've really got back into it in a big way these last 2 or 3 years. I've always stitched very monogamously as well, so suddenly having more than 2 whips has been quite a good experience. I found Flosstube because I started a full coverage piece in February 2019, which is my dragon, and I was watching I started watching a few parking tutorials when I was investigating how to do that technique, and just found this whole community on YouTube, and haven't really looked back since. The reason that I started my own Flosstube was because I'd picked some gorgeous fabrics from Chromatic Alchemy for a seasonal piece I was doing, and they arrived and I showed my husband, and his reaction was more lackluster than I was hoping for, and so I thought I would just find some other people who would appreciate fabrics as much as I did, and here all of you still are, it seems. But anyway, that is enough waffle from me. Let's just get straight to stitching and progress that I've made over the last 2 months now. So there are a fair few things to show you. I have been stitching quite a lot, and I've been buying more than I probably should have been. So there's going to be a bit of a chunky haul section at the end as well. A lot of my stitching will tie in with the plan section from my previous video, as it's a lot of WhipGo stuff. And the first thing I'm going to show you very much ties in with the plans. In January, I started and finished another Advent animal from the Brooks Books free collection. These are a series of 25 Christmassy animals, and I've already done 7 of them. And my goal this year was to do 1 a month. So I've not met that goal for February. However, I did meet it in January. And this is Pearly Pig. Looking very adorable. So I stitched these on a 32 count Falling Snow even weave by Lakeside Needlecraft. Sorry, the name just completely escaped me then. I'm stitching these all with a called for DMC per the patterns. These are all a set of free charts from the Brooks Books website. And I love them so much. They stitch up, there's more stitching in there than I thought there would be, but they do stitch up so quickly. And in the numbers, I'm just using DMC 816 with Krynic. So it looks shiny. I can't remember off the top of my head what the Krynic is, so I will just put it on the bottom of the screen. So that was my start and a finish since I last saw you. I may as well just show you my second animal started. Considering February is now long been and gone, it's a very meagre start, but this is Kenny the kangaroo, and I've just got his little foot. I did have more, but I miscounted and had a frog, so I did have like a little arched leg bit up here, but that had to go. So I'm hoping I'll be able to get this one and maybe another one started this month, but we'll just see. I'm not gonna put too much pressure on myself. And again, stitching the same linen with called for DMC. So those are my 2 Advent animals. On my WhipGo board, I have 2 Advent animal squares, so I've highlighted one of them. I'll intersperse my video with the WhipGo board. So I've highlighted one of them yellow because it's finished, but it hasn't been cooled yet. So when it gets cooled, it will just go immediately green. So yeah, those are my Advent animals. As I go through my projects, you'll hear me talking a lot about my WhipGo board. I went through this in my Whip Parade in December, and it is the brainchild of Jessie Marie from Jessie Marie Does Stuff. So she's got loads of videos about how it all works. If you were interested, I'll link one of them down below so that you can just, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, basically. And so I just wanted to let you know as I'm going through that I will be referring to WhipGo quite a lot. The next one I will show you is one of the calls for WhipGo in January, which was to finish Zelda on my Lincoln Zelda piece. So I'll put a quick picture up of what it will look like at the end. And then where you saw it last time. And I think I may have just started the hair on Zelda last time. I can't remember the top of my head now. And I haven't met the January WhipGo goal still, but I have made quite good progress on Zelda, I think, which is, at the end of the day, that's what I'm using WhipGo for, is for motivation and to make some progress. So this is how far I am. So I've just got the rest of her face and ear to do, and then she is done. So it's 1 day of stitching, really. So I'm really chuffed with how it's all looking. I love the colours against the blue. This is a 32 count Glacier linen by Chromatic Alchemy, which never shows up. It's a bit brighter and more turquoisey than it always shows up on this camera. But no, I think she's looking really good. I'm a bit worried about the coverage on the face, but I think I'm just being picky, you know, because it's quite a pale thread and then against quite a bright background. But yeah, that's how we're getting on. I'm still aiming to get this finished for the 3rd of July, which is our wedding anniversary. And if Link doesn't get called next month, maybe then I'll just stitch him and just work on the other one that got called another time, basically. So that was my Lincoln Zelda. I'll show you my dragon in a little bit. The other WhipGo call for February was to do the left-hand side of the Hello Sunshine tree by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. So I'll put in a picture of what it will look like when it's done, and then where you saw it last time. And I think I just had the base of the tree, but I'm very pleased to say that I achieved this goal. And I've got the whole side of the tree done, and I'm completely in love with it. I just love the colours, they're so bright. And I love that toucan as well. So this project actually fit in quite well with February Avery as well, as I was stitching on that toucan. So I got a kit from Caterpillar Cross Stitch, so it's stitched on a 28 count even weave with all of the called for DMC. And I stitched on this one monogamously until I reached my goal, which I haven't stitched on something for more than 2 days in a row, I don't think, for ages. And so I actually really, really enjoyed it. So I think I'm going to try and incorporate that more into how I approach the rest of my cross-stitch patterns this year, because you just feel like you can make such tangible progress. And it felt like I could just keep going and finish it. But then I got bored. As soon as I hit my goal, I was like, oh, that's done. So let's move on. But no, I'm really, really chuffed with how that's turning out. I think I've decided how I'm going to display these all now as well, because I was debating I know a few people have pinned, they put them on foam board and pin them, and they've got them on easels to swap them around seasonally. And I do like the idea of swapping them around seasonally, but I've seen these wooden hanging bars on Etsy, and it's basically like magnets on either side. And so I was thinking for each of the trees, because I finished the autumn and winter trees and the spring tree is on my Whip Go board as well, but basically just putting some like fabric on the back that matches the colours, and then just having the bars like across the top so it just hangs like that, and then just having them hanging every season. So that's that one. My other project that got called on Whip Go both in January and in February is my Margarita Dragon. I'm just so chuffed with the progress I made since I showed it to you in December, because each goal, I'm trying to get 2,000 stitches monthly anyway, but in the months that it's called on Whip Go, I definitely need to get those 2,000 stitches. And so January and February, I met the goal twice, which means he's had over 4,000 stitches in since you last saw it. So I'll put, oh, and wait, this is one I've actually got the picture for. So this is what it will look like when it's done. So this is stitched on 18 count aid with all the called for DMC. The artwork is by Stanley Morrison, and it's charted by Pain Free Crafts, which is a company in the UK. And I'll put in a picture of where I was last time. And now, excuse me, this is where I am. I can never remember how I hold this one. So I think last time I just had the talon, I think. And so I've done another, I think it's like 3 or 4 lines, and then I've just started on the diagonal down here as well. I am still loving diagonal stitching. I'm just loving how the features are all coming together. I can't believe we're nearly, like, this is his eye up here. So when I get to the top of this row, it'll be his eye. And yeah, I'm just absolutely loving it. I love all of the colours in the wing. I think it's just showing up so well on the camera. Actually, I'm seeing, like, when you're so focused on the stitching, you're just so focused on the tiny details that when you actually take a step back and look at it on the camera, it's just, oh, I'm just so chuffed. Doing the 2,000 stitches a month has been really good, but I did need a break when it came to March. I was quite glad it didn't get called for Whip Go, because it's just, the confetti is unreal. It's on every line, it's a different colour stitch basically. So I have changed my diagonal approach slightly, and instead of going line by, firstly I started off, I was just doing one 10 by 10 row down, and I was stitching all the lines individually. And then I started stitching 10 by 10 blocks, but on the diagonal. And now, because there's so much confetti, excuse me, I ended up changing my needle so often and changing threads so often that I'm now stitching in, as you can see down here, like 20 by 20 blocks. And it just means that I can do more stitches all in one, basically, because it is just so confetti heavy. So I'll just zoom in a bit so you can see the detail a bit more. Yeah, I'm just so chuffed with how it's looking. And I can't wait to keep making good progress on it. Other than the projects on my Whipgo board, I have been working on a couple of other things. The first one I'll show you is from the Hands-on Design Perennial Pinwheel series. This is the cover photo. So I've already done the spring trio, and then I started on the autumn ones in autumn last year because I just was feeling like stitching on something a bit autumnal. And I'd started this big motif here, and I think I did about 3 sunflowers last time I showed it to you. But I finished the big motif. So this is that. So pleased with how this is looking against the linen as well. This is the linen from Chromatic Alchemy, 32 count, I think it's cumulitis. So I'm really, really chuffed with that. When I'm in a finishing mood, I like to pick this one up because the little motifs stitch up quite quickly. But not that I'm in a finishing mood very often. So I'll just zoom in a bit. I think the linen is showing up quite accurately, actually. Very, very marbled blue. It's absolutely gorgeous. I'm still so pleased with the colours I chose for this series. The next one I've got to show you is my ink circles piece, the Cercle des Carreaux. And I am still absolutely obsessed with this, and very happy that it's been called for my March whip go. So the aim is to get 25%. It doesn't have to be in the month, it's more just to push me to aim for it, basically, because I really would love to get a significant amount of progress on this one this year. So I have been stitching on it in the meantime anyway. One sec, let me just fold it up a bit so that I can get zoomed in more. And this is what it will look like when it's finished. This is what it looked like last time, and I think I've definitely surpassed 10%. I don't know if I've reached 15 this time around, but this is how far I am now. Oh, it just makes me so happy. I'm so pleased with the variegation. Because it's such a highly variegated floss, I was really worried about making everything match, but actually when you take a step back again and just look at it, it doesn't necessarily matter that all the greens are next to the greens and all the browns are next to the browns. Because it's like 20,000 stitches, if I was fussy cutting, it would just take me forever. If I was trying to get it all to match every time. And I don't think it would be as an enjoyable a stitch. So I am stitching this on 40 count cream Newcastle linen by Zweigart with Sulky in the colour 4090. It's the 12 weight cotton blendable thread. And this is the one that's based around the Avatar television series. And all of the different colours are based on the different styles of bending. When I've been feeling quite low over the past couple of months, I've been so tempted just to buy the rest of because I'm definitely going to stitch all 4. I've just been so tempted to buy all the patterns and just start them, because I've got the sulky now, so I'm having to be very strict with myself and not start them all at the same time, otherwise I'd never get any of them finished. So I'm so pleased with how that's going to turn out. So this is the size of the linen. But it won't take up all of this piece. But I'm trying to figure out where to go next. I think what I'm going to aim to do, because I was trying to go all the way down the centre, but I think what I'm going to do is come across over to this top corner and like stitch it in quarters. But we'll see. I always change my mind. So yeah, so chuffed with that. and cannot wait to get stitching on it for March as well. And then the last thing that I have to show you is a new start. And I've made a special project bag for it as well. So this is kind of linked to haul actually, but I'll show you my project bag first. So I'm just so pleased with all the colours on this. I think it's come out so well. Again, I just got all the fabrics from, everything I get from Etsy. And I used Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch's project bag tutorial, which I'll link below, as I always use. And so again, it's the one where the inside is inverted. So yeah, if you can't tell, we've got owls on the bag because this houses all of my Owl Forest embroidery projects, or all of them, it will house. And so this is linked to haul. And so the first ones I'll show you, these are the ones I haven't started, but I got the 3 kits for the Hyperborea trio, because so this is one where they offer 3 separate kits, or it all comes as one big kit. But because I'm not quite sure how I'm going to display these yet, I figured I'd get the 3 separate ones because then it's a little bit more flexible. And so these are, that's the first one. And so it comes with all of their hand-dyed flosses as well, which are just beautiful. And then it comes with needle and needle minder, and it's got the links on because this is one with the links. Then it comes with the fabric, which I think is just a Zweigart fabric. Sorry for the glare. And then it just has the pattern in the box as well. So that's the first one. The second one is one with a big owl on it. Love, love, love. And the last one is the one with the polar bears. So yes, love all those. I decided not to start them. I just couldn't justify, I started another one basically, so I couldn't justify starting them as well, but I am really excited to get those underway. The other one I bought was the titmice chart, which I will put up I got this as a PDF, so I'll put up a cover picture. So for this, I also got the Called For Linen, which is a 32 count summer khaki by Zweigart. And I got the Owl Forest embroidery variegated flosses. And actually, before I show you, sorry, I'm going to keep waffling on. I'm going to make you wait. The floss that Owl Forest provide, they also provide little cardboard bobbins for you to like just wrap it round. And I'm not used to bobbins. I don't really like bobbins all that much. I don't use them. But for this, it is the most appropriate way of storing them. And so I had them on a floss ring at the beginning, and I hated it so much because it was just all very fussy, and I just couldn't get on board with it. And so from Bags Plus on Etsy, I bought a little bobbin storage holder, and I'm so pleased with it. It's just little, like, it's fabric all around, but it's got a vinyl pocket on the back where I've just kept their care instructions, and then it's got 12 vinyl pockets on here as well. So I could fit 3 more in here if I had them. And it's just, yeah. It's absolutely spot on. It's exactly what I needed. So I'm just really chuffed with that. And after all that, this start isn't amazing. But I will show you what I've got. So this is where I am. So I've just started in the top left-hand corner. And I got some tiny little birds. So this was another February Avery start, although I've got 4 birds, I think that counts. So yeah, I'm just loving the variegation up here, and I'm loving in the blue as well. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. So I can't wait to get a few of the bigger birds done so that you can see it a bit clearer. But yeah, I'm so excited to keep stitching on this one, but just to find the time. I really do need to limit my new starts this year, I think, otherwise I'm never going to get anything done. But yeah, that's my start on that one, so really, really love that. As we've already started on a little bit of haul, I'll just finish off the rest of the things I got and before we move on to plans. So, as I mentioned, I've been obsessed with my ink circles circus piece, and I'm desperate to start all the other ones. So in preparation for this, seeing as I already have all of the sulky floss, I figured I may as well just buy the fabric as well. So this is just an enormous piece of Zweigart cream 40 count linen. So I just need to cut that up ready for all of the individual pieces. I don't know when I'll start any of them. I feel like it should be a reward for something rather than a whim. But knowing myself, I will probably just start when I want to start. Another fabric purchase is I just got a big chunk of Newcastle raw linen. So I got raw linen. And this is for, I'm hoping this is for the Modern Folk Embroidery 2021 stitch along, because I absolutely loved that pattern and I'm desperate to stitch it. However, I have really struggled with the colours and what colours to use, and I'm just worried that I'll start with something I really like and then by the time I'm finished it won't look like I want it to at the end. And so I just need to get off the fence and I just need to do something. And so what I did was I had a bit of inspiration. The reason that I've gone for this raw linen is because firstly, I'm loving stitching on 40 count linen with sulky threads for my ink circles pieces or piece. And so I thought I would just try to keep doing it because I have really, really been enjoying it. And so because this was a 2021 stitch along, I was thinking, what significant things happened in 2021? Because obviously it was a bit of a shitter of a year. However, I did get married and thought that it could be like a commemorative piece of, as like a highlight of 2021. So our wedding colour was dark green basically, because my husband's Scottish and so he got married in his kilt in the family tartan, which was dark green and dark blue. And so we went with the dark green for the general theme of the wedding. And so I got a few sulkies to try a few things with on this linen and just see if any of them would look good. So the first colour I got was a dark green in 1232. So just a foresty green. And then I was thinking, well, if it's dark green because of colours in his kilt, maybe I should get a cream colour for my wedding dress, because I didn't get married in white. I got married in it's like a cream lace with an oyster skirt, which was like a dark creamy grey colour. And then I saw this variegated floss, which is colour 4001. And that kind of goes through white and cream and a light beige colour, which is kind of a more of the colour of my dress. Because it wasn't like it was brown, but it wasn't white. And actually on the day so our wedding changed last minute because the Prime Minister of the UK changed the COVID rules 2 weeks before our wedding. And so our venue suddenly couldn't accommodate everybody inside, but we could have people outside. And we also weren't allowed to do any dancing or have any evening do. So we had to change quite a lot very quickly. And one of the things we did was have the ceremony outside and then the evening do, because we got married down in Cornwall, there was a beach about a 5-minute drive away from the venue. And so we decided, well, if we can't have a party at the venue, let's just go to the beach and have a little dance on the beach instead. And so it all worked out. It all worked out really, really, it was such a fun day. But as I started walking down the aisle, it was basically, we were out in a field basically to get married. It'd been quite fresh all morning, but as soon as I started walking down the aisle, the heavens just opened and there was a proper downpour, which meant that my dress got totally waterlogged and it got muddy and covered in grass. And then obviously by the time we went down to the beach in the evening, it was still a bit damp, and so it just picked up all the sand. And so by the time we got back to the room at the end of the day, it was absolutely grooted. It was just covered in dirt. So I think it's probably kind of fitting actually that there's brown in this, because it definitely wasn't cream by the end of the day. So yeah, anyway, long waffly story aside, these are the two colours I got. And then our theme or our colours were green and gold. And so I decided I'd give a Sully Metallic a go as well, because it's so shiny. It's absolutely gorgeous. And this is 8003. And it's quite a cold gold, like it's not very yellow. It's got a cold gold in the kind of best way. So yeah, I'm really, really chuffed with that. So the reason I went for raw as well is because it was like we got married on a converted farm. And so for want of a better word, it was more kind of rustic. Which is, and yeah, by that logic, I thought raw would be good. So yeah, I just need to have a play around with that basically. Because I really love that piece and I will start it eventually, but only if I'm happy with the colours. I also finally got my hands on the Fox chart by Cottage Garden Samplings, which everybody went nuts for over Christmas because it is just so gorgeous. I cannot wait to start him. The fabric, the call for fabric is a Mirage by Picture This Plus. And I've heard lead times on Picture This Plus are like 10 months. So what I've done instead is I've ordered a even weave from Chromatic Alchemy in like dark blues. So I'm hoping it will look like I want it to look, because I'd love to be able to start this month. The final bit of haul I've got is I was buying a few things from Lakeside Needlecraft, like the linen, for example. And I really enjoyed, so before Christmas I showed a decoration I'd finished from the Antique Snowflake, and I really enjoyed stitching on the perforated paper and using beads and everything. And I've been looking at this one for ages, and I decided to just get it because I think it's really lovely. So it's the Winter Holiday Collection MH182031 Christmas Eve. So yeah, I absolutely love that. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. I'll do that in December probably. My final bits of haul were as a result of being inspired by the Needle and Floss on Instagram. So they shared a picture a little while ago now, I think it must have been before Christmas, of their sewing kit bag where they keep a load of tools to help them with their everyday sewing. And I saw it and I was just like, that is a genius idea, of course. Why don't I already have one of these? Because I've obviously got quite a few projects and lots of different project bags, and I didn't want to buy loads of scissors to keep in each bag. I didn't see the point. And I was always losing needles, and so it was just getting really faffy, like needlessly faffy. And so I decided that I would just put together a little sewing kit. And so I bought a few things from Lakeside Needlecraft for that. But I was thinking what I will do is I will unpack my sewing kit bag and I'll insert a little video here instead of everything. And I'll like have it all unpacked and I'll put it all in the bag and I'll show it all to you instead. So hopefully that video's gone off okay. And I will insert it here. Okay, so I hope you can see and hear me clearly. I am filming this on my phone instead of on my tablet, so that is why there's been maybe a change in quality or sound. But this is the equipment that goes into my little sewing kit, and the sewing kit goes with me wherever I am sewing. So I carry it through with me to the bedroom or the living room, wherever I'm working at that time. The little kit itself, this bag, this was a gift from my brother-in-law's girlfriend at Christmas. So it is meant to be, it's like it's a Space NK, little travel makeup bag. But I have repurposed it somewhat for my sewing kit bag. So basic stuff that goes in here is a little tape measure, which I use to measure fabric when I'm trying to figure out how to kit up a project and stuff like that. I also use it for my project bag sometimes. Other things, basic tools, is I've got a little screwdriver that came with my mum's sewing machine, but I use it now all the time to tighten my hoops. This is a little seam ripper that also came with my mum's sewing machine. So just for when you're ripping out little stitches. This is part of my haul. So this I have found quite useful where I have had to frog, and also on my Margarita Dragon piece, because I use a range of techniques in parking my threads and stopping my threads. And so this is just to brush away any fluff. It's also pretty handy because we've got 2 cats, so they inevitably get cat hair everywhere. So that just folds up and goes in there. I have a couple of floss rings, which are just historic purchases from Lakeside Needlecraft, just for if I need one in a project bag. This is my little needle minder case. I got this ages ago now, just from Etsy. And so it's just got little bits of felt in there. So these are 2 new tools I've got from Lakeside Needlecraft again. They're the snag nabbits where you poke the needle bit through, and then this bit is, actually, let me just get one out of there. This bit is ridged. Will it focus? No, it doesn't like that. And so basically it just catches any kind of puffy thread sticking through. And because I use pin stitch and because I finish my threads on the top for my Margarita Dragon, it just helps to make sure they're all tucked away. I also bought some new needles because I was running out, and then I've back stitched the size in there for each of them. So I've got 24, 26 and 28 because I use a variety of counts. And then these are just miscellaneous needles. So that just goes flat in there. I've got a little marker pen for if I've got a paper chart. I also use this on the Hello Trees by Caterpillar Cross Stitch to tick off all the motifs. So I also bought a couple of pairs of scissors from Lakeside Needlecraft. So these are just stalk ones, although the painting is all coming off. So these are meant to be like a blue, but the paint's come off. And then I just bought a scissor keep because it was going in this kit, which I now can't get on. Come on. So that just goes in there. And then I've got a bigger pair and I just use them as and when, but I really like the handles on these. And then just another scissor keep for that. I also got a little, because I've been using a little jar for my orts, but this fits in wouldn't have fit in the this bag. And so I just got a little ort keeper, which I've just been putting my rough threads in, and that just goes flat on the top. And then finally, I've just been keeping some anti-bac gel in because I don't want to have grubby hands on my sewing, basically. So that all fits in there. And then I don't know if I'll be able to zip it up by myself, but that all goes in there. And basically, I just carry that around with me wherever I'm stitching because I don't have a set stitching spot in our apartment. But yeah, that's my little sewing kit. Okay, fingers crossed that worked. Very quickly on plans then. I've spoken of saying that I want to finish my Advent Animal I want to finish Kenny the Kangaroo and hopefully start another one. I want to work on my Ink Circle Circus piece so that I can meet my Whip Go goal, hopefully, and make significant progress there. And then finally, my Whip Go call for, the other call for my Whip Go board for March was my Cozy Cafe piece. Actually, I realised I thought there were more cups than there are. And so on my Whip Go board, it says 3 cups, 3 cups, 3 cups, but there aren't that many cups. And so instead, what I'm going to do is, so I'll show you what I've got so far. So I've got 3 cups along the top. There are 2 more cups on the top, and then there are 5 on the bottom. And so I think what I'm going to aim for this month with the Whip Go goal is to finish the 2 cups and then do the top border. So I can say that the entire top half is finished. Because then firstly, I won't have to do the border at the end, which will just be tedious. And secondly, it will start to feel like it's been framed. Hopefully get to the border, but if I don't, I don't. I know I've listed an awful lot of plans for March, but it's not that I'm going to do all them all. It's more that I might be able to at least start getting things done on them all. That is all my stitchy stuff. The last thing for us to do before I leave you all to the rest of your day is the giveaway. So I am flying by the seat of my pants a little bit. I'm not quite sure how this will work, and I hope it all comes off well. There are a few terms and conditions which I'm still getting familiar with, so I'll list them at the end. This giveaway is basically just a huge thank you to all of you for sticking with me. I know my posting schedule is pretty sporadic. There's always an excuse, and I do apologise for that, but I hope you can all appreciate that this is a hobby for us, and life happens. So I do appreciate all of you for hanging around and commenting and liking and all of the lovely things that you all do. I really enjoyed the interactions I've had with people on this channel, so I'm very grateful to you. For the giveaway, there are going to be 3 items, and they basically all tie into how I got started on Flosstube. So as I said in my introduction, I found Flosstube because of my dragon and through watching parking tutorials. And so the first item that will be given away is a Stanley Morrison chart from Pain-Free Crafts. Stanley Morrison is the artist who designed the artwork for the dragon. He has lots of drinking dragons if you wanted one of those, but he has a whole range of other pieces as well, and they're all really stunning. If it weren't for that pattern and trying to figure out what the hell parking was, I would never have found Flosstube, and so I just really wanted to pay tribute to that. So the chart will be a PDF chart, and I believe there is a way on Pain-Free Crafts for me to gift it to you directly. So I'll just need your email address so that we can talk about which chart you'll want, and then I'll be able to get it sent across to you. So if you want a Stanley Morrison Pain-Free Crafts chart, and I will link the website down below so that you know where to go. If you would like to be entered in this giveaway, please use the word Stanley in your comment, which is Stanley, and then you'll be entered in this one. The second giveaway, I'm really sorry, this is only going to be available for UK residents. Basically, the reason I started my Flosstube is because of the Chromatic Alchemy linens I got for the Perennial Pinwheels piece, because I got 4 different colours for the 4 different seasons, and I was just so thrilled with them all, decided to show them off on the internet basically. And so I really want to give people a piece of Chromatic Alchemy fabric. A couple of disclaimers. Firstly, if you like 32 count linen, unfortunately, I believe the shop is out of stock of that at the moment because of Zweigart backlogs. But she's got a number of even weaves available, and I think 28 count linen is still available. There is also quite a long wait time because I believe it's just the one person who does all of these fabulous linens. So the wait time will be about 4 to 6 weeks. So I just wanted to make you guys aware up front of all of this. But what we'll do is, again, I'll get your email address and I'll put her website in the giveaway show notes as well. And we'll have a discussion about what fabric you want in what colour. And then I'll get it ordered and delivered to you. So you have to be comfortable sharing your address with me. And it'll just be a little bit of a while to arrive. But I really wanted to, again, I've shown you how many, 3 Chromatic Alchemy linens today maybe, and I've got more on the way for the fox. So I absolutely love her fabric, and it's only a matter of time, I think, before I join her Fabric of the Month club. So I wanted to just pay tribute to that shop as well, because I've really enjoyed purchasing fabric from them. So if you wanted to be entered for this giveaway, please be comfortable sharing your address with me and use the word chromatic in your comments, which is CHROMATIC. And please be a UK resident, as unfortunately I can't afford the postage. Finally, over the past 18 months, Etsy has been a huge source of inspiration, enabling and buying cross-stitch patterns, and obviously all the fabrics I've got for my project bags, they've all come from Etsy. And so I know a lot of us use it, I know a lot of us share designs from Etsy as well, and I wanted to recognise that it has been a fundamental part of my stitching over the past 18 months. And this is open to everybody in the world, as it will be an Etsy gift card. So if you want to be entered into this one, then please just use the word Etsy, ETSY. All of these details will be down in the show notes. Please be 18 or over so that I can ask for your personal information. Please don't use the word giveaway or prize or present or gift in your comments, as I think it triggers a lot of the bots, is my understanding. And yeah, please use the keywords. If you have any questions, just let me know. And I will hopefully draw the name at my next video, which will hopefully be in a month. I will update the community tab on the channel. That is everything from me this time around. Thank you so much for coming and sitting with me again. I really, really appreciate the time you take to watch me and my stitching. I hope you are all keeping as well as you can be at the moment, and I'm sending you all lots of love. In the meantime, I hope you have a good month of stitching, and I will update you next month with all of my progress again. Bye.